Hello, starters. I haven't used that countdown music for a while, have I? But I quite like it. It sort of gets me in the mood to have my quick Sunday starter chat with Team Start on a Sunday here at 1 o'clock. And I've not used it for a bit. And it's funny, isn't it, how that music reminds me of the 28-day challenge, because we used it every day on the 28-day challenge. And it sort of got me in the mood to what I was talking about. It's called an anchor. It's called a sound anchor. And if you are familiar with anchors and you're familiar with, you know what that means. But anyway, here we are on a Sunday. So if people are watching me, that means it's working, which is great. So we've got Gail who's watching me, and I know Gail's watching me because she's put in a beautiful, lovely comment there. So, so she's talking about probably just something I've just been talking about in another session, but that's great. Gail's on, so you can see Gail's on because Gail is using StreamYard, and she's let Facebook use her StreamYard, or StreamYard use Facebook, and she can type a comment. And when she types a comment, it comes below there. And she's talking about starters, and she's had a great week. She's making soup. It's going to be fantastic. And she's really started the week well. And then, of course, got Fiona. Fiona's saying hello. There's Fiona with a little wavy hand, which is great. So great to see everybody. Great to see. So if you're watching me live, do pop on, say where you're watching from. This, is a quick team chat of just to update people on where we're at with things and various things in the Start Facebook group. We've had some new members start, and I really want to encourage people now to start joining because some new news is coming. Another challenge may be on the way. There could be some stuff. So we really need to get our numbers up in the Start Facebook page. So please do share, people, make sure they answer the questions that there, and those questions are there for us all to protect ourselves, etc. So we know who's joining our amazing group. But please do, ask your friends to join Start. Now, today I'm going to be talking about something which I have been using this week. And it's something, again, I've been testing out, and I will share with you properly when we do it. But I've been looking at using, and I'm going to give you two very clear examples of that's better English, isn't it? What I have done this week using checklists and templates. So number one, checklists. Well, what is a checklist? Well, quite simply, a checklist for me is a list of things in an order that you can check off as you're going along. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I do, or what I used to do on a Sunday after I did my live. So you may know I do a live at 12 in Michael Heppel's brilliant How to Be Brilliant group. And I also come on here at 1 o'clock and do a live. And what I then do is I use those lives and make them into a video and put them on the Start to get started YouTube page. So you can see my work there. Now, they're not all on at the minute, but they will be at some stage. But when I was doing the 28-day challenge, I was doing it every night. And I would record a video, and then I'd get it quickly up onto the Start Facebook page. And what I developed was a checklist of what to do. Now, I don't want to bore people with what I did, but essentially my checklist goes like this. So basically what happens is I firstly come up with the idea for the video. Secondly, I write some bullet points and some notes for the video. The next thing is I schedule when I'm going to record the video, and then I do the video. So this is what we're doing now. I'm doing a video now. After the video finishes, I download it onto my desktop, and I change the name of the video to what I'm talking about, and I put the word raw in, okay, RAW, which basically means not edited. So today I will call it Checklist Raw. That is on my desktop. Now, don't get lost with technical stuff here. I'm just going through what I do. I need then to put it through some special software that makes the video ready to be able to edit. So that's the next stage, and that special software on an Apple is called Handbrake, and it sorts the sound out and it does all the bits it needs to do. I then copy that Handbrake video into iMovie, where I edit the movie. I add at the start a picture which I've already prepared. I add at the end of the video my sort of end sequence, which is like where it says like and subscribe. And by the way, if you have not been to the Start YouTube page, you can access that from the Start to Get Started website. Just go down to the bottom, click YouTube, and you can go there. So back to my checklist. I then edit the video, put some music on, and I do something called rendering it. And what a rendering means is you tell iMovie that this is a YouTube video and it changes its format. Okay. Next on the checklist, I then put that movie into YouTube. I write a paragraph about the video. I put a description in with all the links, and then I send it to YouTube and it creates the video and it's there in the YouTube library. And as I've said, if you want to see the library, go to starttogetstarted.com and that will take you there to the YouTube page. So that is my checklist from everything I do with the video right to the end of it being published. Now, how did I come up with that very complicated checklist? And how did I remember it? I've got nothing written down here, folks. There's no notes for this. I've remembered it because it's in a sequential order in my checklist. How did I come up with that? Well, one day I was uploading on the 28-day challenge a video, and I thought I should write this down because this is a really good system to follow. And I put that system in my Apple Notes. It doesn't have to be Apple. It can be on a pad, piece of paper. It could be on a Word document. And I recorded that system. And what I did was I moved some of the things around to make it a coherent system, making sure I listed everything I wanted to do in the order I did it. And there we go. I've got a checklist. Now, the beauty of the checklist is that I can go back and repeat and repeat and repeat. Maybe sometimes I need to review and change, but I can repeat that checklist. Okay, I can repeat that checklist over and over again. So starters, you might not be video making like I am. This might not be your thing, but where else in your life could you use a checklist? Where else could you take the stress or take the barrier of doing something without a checklist? I'll give you another example. I have one of those wheelies, you know, the wheelie suitcases, right? And I go on holiday, or when we could, I am going on holiday soon, I'm very excited about it. I had in one of those wheelies enough clothes that would last me when I go away for 4 or 5 days. Okay? Some people say, how did you do that, Steve? But I do it anyway. And what I did was, one holiday, I made a list of everything in my suitcase when I got to Spain. I was in Spain. And I made a list. And that list was everything in the suitcase because I thought, God, I've packed too much. And what I did over the week was I ticked off on that list what I used and what I didn't use. And then that became my wheelie bag checklist, which is on paper. It's actually on computer as well, but it's on paper. It sits in my wheelie bag. So when I know I'm going on holiday, all I simply do is pull out that checklist, put the things on the list in the bag, nothing more, nothing less, and it's all there. It may sound boring, folks. It may sound ridiculous, but you know what? That saves so much time. I've not forgotten things. I have everything I need, and it's so simple. And sometimes, I don't know whether you do this on holiday, you have things that you only use on your holiday, and then what you do is when you get to your resort or you get to your place, you recycle them, or you don't use them anymore. So all I do is make a little note on my paper checklist that's in my wheelie. I need to replace that for next time, or I need to have that ready. Again, a simple checklist. So that's checklists. So do you use checklists? Do you use them? Do you have any checklists that you have in your life that you use? How do you use them? Pop them in the chat. Pop them in the chat to remind other people and show other people about the amazing stuff that you do. Right. Number 2, I promised you 2 things, didn't I? Number 2, I've been doing this week, and wowzer, and I mean wowzer. Simple little thing which has helped me get everything I wanted to do this week and have a fabulous Friday and a brilliant Saturday and a super Saturday. This helped me last week do it, and it's quite simple. In every day on my Outlook calendar, on my electronic calendar at 8 o'clock, I put in a little meeting, and the meeting said to do. It doesn't matter what time. You can do it at 6 o'clock, doesn't matter, but to do. Then in that meeting, your little schedule, your block of time, you've got a note section. And what I started to do in there is put the 5 things I wanted to achieve that day in that note section. And they were there all day and reminded me all day of what I had to do. Again, a simple template, a simple checklist. I didn't put more in that I wanted to do. I just put the 5 things to remind me what I wanted to do. And so over the week, 25 days, 5 things, 25 things done. I made sure I didn't put big, huge projects in. These were tasks. These were things to do. And really silly things like put the washing in, get ready for ironing. Because then on Tuesday, I put in ironing. Sounds simple, doesn't it? Sounds simple. You may think, Steve, who is this guy who needs to write down? He's got to put stuff in the washing machine. He's got to iron stuff. Who does that sort of nonsense? However, the great thing about that is I could plan my week. And rather than having a mishmash of to-do lists, I was very focused on what I was to do each day. The other thing I put in my diary, and again, it's a checklist, that's all it is what bin goes out what week. Now, where I live, we have 3 bins, okay? We have a black bin, which is food waste and normal waste, a purple bin, which has 2 parts. It has bottles, plastics, and something else. Bottles, plastic, whatever. It has another part for paper and cardboard, and then we have a green bin for garden waste. And they all come on different weeks. They don't come every week. And I'm forever forgetting when the bins come. And I know that sounds silly, but I've put that now in my diary, and simply, so I don't look silly and don't feel silly, I've just put BP, black, purple, green, in my diary each Wednesday, just to remind me. Simple checklists. Now, why are these things so effective? Well, the reason why they're so effective is once they're done once, they can be repeated. That's the beauty of this. Once it's done once, it can be repeated. So my video example can be repeated. I don't have to think about it. My to-dos in my diary are in my diary. If I need to move things, I can. And don't forget, once it's in the diary, what gets scheduled, what gets done, is that, my saying. But you can move things around. My wheelie list, my travel list, easy, just gets repeated. I come home, stuff in the washing machine. Some of the stuff just goes back in the wheelie or in a bag that's ready for my next holiday. So, for example, I always take on holiday with me a lunchbox, and that's because it's good to put stuff in, right? I always have the same cables for my phone. I have a spare set that's in the wheelie. Travel wash in the wheelie, same type of thing like that. So it just gets repeated. So for me, they are the 2 fantastic things that I have been using this week to get me started. I've been using checklists and I've been using templates. And I'm sure I'll write more about these, and I'm sure I'll maybe share some of my templates and checklists that I use. But for me, starters, that was a brilliant start strategy that I'm going to continue using over the next couple of weeks, and I'll report back on my progress. Why don't you try them? Why don't you have a go at them? Why don't you take on some of the ideas, or indeed share in the chat what you do? because this group is all about starting, completing, and getting stuff done. So let's go back to the chat then. Don't forget, I am using StreamYard. If you use StreamYard, your chat can come up. We said hello to Gail. We said hello to Fiona. We've got a hello here from a Facebook user. Now, I'm not sure who that is. So if this is you with that wavy hand saying hello, it might be Alan. But, if it's Alan, hello, Alan, or whoever it is, just your Facebook's not connected there. Gail has come back and said, hi, she's looking forward to another challenge. So am I. It was so motivating, wasn't it, Gail? So fantastic. Lots of learning, and everybody's giving the feedback. It's great. And then we've got another hello there from Facebook. Not sure who that is. Gail's talking about lists of VitalFare, but I get so annoyed when I don't accomplish, which is often. Okay, so then what you need to do, Gail, is review your list. Are you putting too much on your list? I have the 5 things a day, and I'm very conscious that those 5 things are not projects. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Writing chapter 1. That is a project. That's not a task. Writing for half an hour is a task. Editing for half an hour is a task. Yeah? Rereading for half an hour is a task. Cleaning the kitchen is a project. And that has a couple of tasks in it, unless it's just a desktop clear. I call it a desktop clear or top clear. So, for me, it's you make sure the sink's empty, the dishwasher's empty, you wipe the tops, you do all the cleaning bit, you brush the floor, and you mop the floor. For me, that's half an hour, right? So I can put that on my task list. That's clean the kitchen for me in my head. But say, you wanted to sort the drawers out, sort the pans out, sort the fridge out. They're a project. So, Gail, what I suggest you do is think about the difference between projects and tasks. And projects is what you group together. Tasks are the individual things. So I hope that helped, Gail. But thanks for your comment. Brilliant. Give me a chance to talk, Gail. It's fantastic. You are my muse in self-development here, which is fantastic. Gail's asking a question. Gail said, start again. Fiona is saying she's loved this, which is brilliant. Gail asked a question. Do you take holidays just in case you need them, e.g. clothes for different weathers? Well, when I go to Spain, I don't, because I know the weather's going to be warm. I know I go when it's warm, so I know that. But yeah, so I suppose if if I go to Spain, do I take a hoodie? Something to keep me warm or a nice jumper. Yes, I would take that with me, but I certainly wouldn't take my winter coat. So I think when you do plan for your holiday, you need to plan for that. So if you know the weather's going to be inclement, you know that things are going to change. You need to plan for that. One thing I don't do, and I used to do a lot, was I used to take things that I think I need. I sort of resolved to the fact that if I needed something that bad, I'd buy it, and I don't really need things that bad. Let me give you an example. A towel, right? So I used to take a beach towel to go to the beach. You don't need to do that because the hotels have towels. And I know they say don't take the towel out of the hotel. How are they going to know? How are they going to know that you've smuggled your hotel towel out? They don't have sensors in. Well, I've never been to a hotel that has sensors in its towels. Nobody, the police, the towel police aren't going to come and arrest you on the beach, are they? So I just take the beach towel with me, The other thing is, when I'm talking about holidays because I'm getting excited, but I don't buy any of my toiletry things and pack them when I go through the security. I have some, I have a razor, I have a body product that I particularly use. But what I do is when I go over the other side, as in to where Boots is or the chemists are available and other shops, I buy it in the departure lounge, and I plan myself to buy what I need in the departure lounge, and I try and buy small ones. So actually, when I finish my holiday, I can recycle them and put them in the hotel recycle. So I again, that's part of my checklist. Part of my checklist is what I have in my toiletry bag, what I show security. And then I have another checklist when I get what do they call it? Flying side, airport side, where I have a checklist where I go to Boots. And usually that checklist is go to Boots to buy this, this, and this. Go to W.H. Smith's, which I don't do much anymore because I now have a Kindle. Have a look in the electric shop for something, which I don't usually buy anything, and then go to the airport lounge or go to the pub and have a drink. Airport lounges, I love airport lounges because for the relative cost that they spend, for me, I actually try and go a little bit early, so I spend some quality time. And in the airport lounge, you can usually have something nice and a snack and a drink. And what I try and do is do a bit of a mind dump before I get on the plane, so I get everything out of my head. So I enjoy my holiday. But enough about holidays. We're going on about holidays. Noel, now this Noel is the Facebook user. So good to see you, Noel. He has a checklist every job and a list for my Christmas fair, which is fantastic. Look at that. And again, what's great about that is it can get repeated every time, can't it? And you take it out that mental declutter. That's what it does. Another Facebook user. You should be able to print a calendar off for your bins collection from your local council. Yeah, that's a very good suggestion. I didn't print it off, but what I did do is I looked on the website and put it into my own diary because that would have 2 diaries and 2 bits of paper, and I don't want that. And if it's in my own diary, I can plan for it, can't I? So I know that if I need to get stuff into the recycle bin, I know that they're coming on that day and it's in my diary. The council in Fiona, we have our council one on the wall by the front door. Brilliant. Again, it's just a reminder. It was just an example. I put it into my diary. We share checklists. Yeah, we share the checklists. Yes, share the checklist. Brilliant. Okay, well, I'll think about that then. I'll think about how a way we can do that. Maybe we have a bit of a session on it one day. But thanks for that, Defo. Doing the holiday listing, keeping it in the case. Yeah. I've done it now for about 15 years, Fiona. And as I said, how I did it was I one day got to resort or got to the hotel and read, wow, too much stuff. I'm never going to wear those 15 T-shirts. The other thing I do, again, it's my preference. I only take enough for 3 days now because I know the hotels that I go in have a washing machine service. And people often go, oh, it costs a lot of money. It doesn't. It really doesn't. It costs about €5, I think, for somebody to take your clothes away and come back and wash them and have the mind impressed for you. So investigate that. Some of the hotels even now have their own washing machines and you can wash them in there. So that's what I do. But yeah, so what I did was I basically went, look, I'm on holiday. Let's completely empty my wheelie, everything. And I mean the stuff on me as well. So if I'm not going to stand up, but if I was listing what I had on now, I'll put that in the list. So I've got my blue T-shirt on, I've got my jeans on, I've got underwear, I've got socks on, I've got a watch on, etc. And I listed everything I brought with me. And then literally, as I went through the holiday, ticked off things that I didn't use. So I found I only needed 5 shirts, for example. And that's what I did, and that became my list. And it's a great idea, so it's brilliant. No, it's Noel there. No, so I said it was Noel, didn't I? Choice of music on while you're doing. Oh, now that's an interesting question. Choice of music while doing all of this. So do you mean when I'm packing, or do you mean when I'm doing my sort of lists? I think when I go on holiday, I definitely have upbeat music that I listen to on holiday. So perhaps I put a bit of a 1980s poppy music on to get me in the mood. I'm just rediscovering using YouTube for music in the background when I'm working very, very quietly. And it's usually something like a meditation type of music, a quieter music, a delta tone music. I'm finding that's helping me a bit more to just focus on things. But definitely when I'm packing, it's upbeat and getting ready for where I'm going. Oh, look at that now, Fiona. Now you're talking. Look, there we go. Didn't I say? Queen and Annie Lennox, 2 of my favorites. I have them on, often blaring out as well. So yes, some Annie Lennox and Queen to do your pack and do. And then finally, we've got Alison here who's saying she's watching. I hope I've managed to see everybody and acknowledge everybody on. Listen, guys, I really appreciate everything you're doing. you're just a fantastic group of people to know, work with. And I'm really honored that you are part of the START group and the START movement and what we're doing. Don't forget, go onto the website, share the website, ask people to join the group. The YouTube channel, the link, the reason why I've not put the YouTube channel on here is because it lists in very strange numbers and letters. Nobody can remember what it is. So if you go onto the Start to Get Started website, go down to the bottom of the page, it'll say YouTube, click on YouTube, and what will happen is it'll take you to the YouTube page. So some of the videos that I've done recently are up there. The ones I've done today will be up there at some stage because I'm going to follow my checklist as we did today, and you can enjoy them there. Don't forget on YouTube, though, to subscribe. And the reason why is because if you subscribe, you get to know when new videos are on. And I've got a whole lot of new videos to put on. So I won't necessarily talk about them or put them in the newsletter. And I hope you're enjoying the newsletter, by the way. Newsletter's going out every Tuesday now, Tuesday morning. Again, I have a checklist for that. That's going out. And I might put some links to checklists in that one day. I might do a update on checklists there. But anyway, wow, I've been on for 26 minutes. You guys just get me talking. You get me all excited. You get me going. And here I am. Thank you so much for being part of START. Keep in touch. Keep going. Keep working on those projects. And have a fantastic week. See you soon. Bye now.